Failed products, failed marketing strategies, disgusting things found in food, and some truly horrifying criminal events that all took place in one of the most popular fast food chains on the planet. Join us today as we take a look at 13 McDonald's disaster stories. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to They Will Kill You. Hit the like button and request any topics you'd like to learn about in the comments section below. Number 13. McPizza and McSpaghetti. In the 1980s, McDonald's tried introducing well-loved elements of Italian cuisine into its menus. The endeavor never caught on with customers for a number of reasons. The McPizza, a made-to-order pizza, took too long to make and basically resembled a hot pocket without the appeal. And the McSpaghetti, lasagna or fettucine Alfredo simply didn't match the products that competing restaurants had to offer. In the end, these products simply weren't in tune with the McDonald's brand, most famous for its burgers and fries. Number 12. Supersize. In 1993, McDonald's got on the supersize trend, giving fast food lovers the chance to purchase larger meals. Then, in 2004, the documentary Supersize Me by independent filmmaker Morgan Spurlock came out. Spurlock ate only McDonald's for a month and documented the negative impact it had on his body. The film would be a PR disaster for the company, which by the end of the year completely pulled supersizing from its menus. Number 11. Arch Deluxe. In 1996, with the Arch Deluxe, McDonald's tried to appeal to more grown-up tastes. This product was essentially a quarter pounder with cheese, peppered bacon, lettuce, tomatoes, ketchup, a secret sauce, and a different bun. The Arch Deluxe was way more expensive than other McDonald's menu items and was meant to kick off a new line of adult-themed products. First-year sales projections were placed at close to $1 billion. $100 million was invested in a bizarre ad campaign showing children being disgusted with the Arch Deluxe and Ronald McDonald playing adult sports. Needless to say, the combination of high pricing and bad marketing all but guaranteed its failure. Number 10. McAfrica. McAfrica was among McDonald's biggest marketing disasters. The pita-like sandwich, which was said to have followed a traditional African recipe, contained beef, tomatoes, cheese, and salad. At the time of the sandwich's release in 2002, around 12 million people were facing starvation in southern Africa. There was a great degree of public outcry and even protests, as many people and aid groups were offended by the product. McDonald's was accused of extreme insensitivity and subsequently issued an apology and withdrew the product. Number 9. McDonald's and the Olympics. When the Olympic Games returned to the US in 1984, McDonald's ran a campaign to show their confidence in the US Olympic team. Customers were given scratch cards with Olympic medals events printed on them. These entitled them to a free Big Mac, fries, or Coke whenever the US won any medal. That year, the Soviet Union and allied countries, including East Germany, boycotted the Olympics. They were dominant forces in the Olympics, and with them out of the way, the path was clear for US athletes, who ended up winning 174 medals, 83 of them gold. The McDonald's promotion ended up being extremely costly, and thousands of establishments even started running out of Big Macs. While they never detailed the hit they took on the '84 campaign, estimates think the sum was incredibly high. Moreover, the marketing fiasco would be mocked for years to come and even spoofed in a Simpsons episode. Number 8. Maggots inside Big Mac. In March 2011, Melbourne resident Lee Savage ordered a Big Mac. He opened the sandwich to check if it included the extra pickles he'd ordered. The pickles were there, but much to Savage's shock and horror, there were also tens of maggots crawling around the patties. Savage reported the incident to the police, but they couldn't help. According to Savage, when he first informed staff about what had happened, they laughed in his face. Number 7. Condoms found in food. At a McDonald's in Eastern Pennsylvania in 1999, William Smith discovered a condom while eating his Big Mac. He complained to the manager, who apologized and offered him 2 coupons. Smith would later file a lawsuit against the company, citing emotional and physical illness. 10 years later, a Swiss 7-year-old girl found a condom in her order of fries. Her mother, who was understandably furious, called the police, who sent the prophylactic to a laboratory to check whether or not it posed a health risk. They also investigated into how it got there. Number 6. Nailfounded burger. 40-year-old Yusuf Bursel took his first bite of a McDonald's burger from a restaurant in Helsingin, Sweden. Instantly, he felt a sharp pain in the roof of his mouth. A nail, almost half an inch long, had become lodged between his tooth and gum. He managed to pull it out and threw up. He told staff and the manager apologized, but had no idea how the nail had ended up in his burger. Bursel told a media outlet that for his family's safety, they would stick to homemade burgers from that point on. Number 5. 200 people riot. The biggest brawl that London had seen ever since the 2011 London riots took place outside a McDonald's and involved around 200 youths. Many were juveniles armed with knives, baseball bats with nails in them, and acid. The fight broke out at a McDonald's in Barking, East London. First responding officers arrived at the scene at around 3:30, but soon called for backup. 3 officers were injured in the horrific riot, 21 people were arrested, and numerous weapons were found. Peace was only restored at around 9 p.m. when the crowds finally dispersed. Number 4. McDonald's bombings. In 1992, on April 28th and 29th, 7 bombs were planted near or inside 7 McDonald's restaurants in Taiwan. An anonymous phone call demanded $240,000 ransom from Quantai Foods, the McDonald's operator in Taiwan. The company refused to negotiate and closed all 57 of its restaurants, while an island-wide police search took place. 3 of the bombs were detonated by tilt fuse, injuring 4 civilians and killing 1 police officer who died while attempting to defuse one of the explosive devices. Plumber Chen His-sai was convicted for the bombings and sentenced to life in prison in November 1992. Number 3. McDonald's cult murder. A group of 6 people entered a McDonald's restaurant in Jiaoyuan, Shandong, China on May 28, 2014. Claiming to be missionaries, they presented their religious message and then asked for customers' telephone numbers for future contacts. Wu Shuyan, a salesgirl from a clothing store nearby, was inside the McDonald's at the time. When Shuyan refused to give them her phone number, 2 of the alleged missionaries hit her with a mop handle and repeatedly kicked her and stomped her head. Shuyan was beaten to death while others in the group warned the McDonald's customers not to interfere. The police arrived on the scene and arrested the perpetrators, 5 of whom were members of the Jiang family, plus a young woman, Lu Ling-chung, who lived with them. Lu Ying-chung motivated the killing of Shu Yang as the elimination of an evil spirit, a demon that had to die so that it wouldn't devour everybody. During the trial, Zhang Fan, another member of the group, repeatedly claimed of being God herself. It's still unclear what cult the attackers belonged to. Number 2. Sydney River McDonald's murders. On May 7th, 1992, 18-year-old Derek Wood broke into the McDonald's he was working at in Sydney River, Nova Scotia, Canada. He was accompanied by 2 of his friends, Darren Muwais, 18, who wore a Halloween mask, and 23-year-old Freeman, Daniel McNeil. They forced their way into the restaurant after closing through a basement door. Their target was the safe, which they believed held around $200,000. The 3 claimed that their plan was simply to grab the money and that they didn't want to hurt anyone, Tragically, that wasn't how things turned out. 3 McDonald's employees were shot, beaten, and stabbed to death, and a 4th one was left permanently disabled after being shot in the neck. The employees were murdered with a .22 caliber handgun, a shovel handle, and several knives. The 3 perpetrators only made off with $2,017 and were later captured by the police. Number 1. San Isidro McDonald's Massacre. Society had its chance. I'm going hunting humans. This was the last thing that James Huberty told his wife Etna before leaving the apartment they shared with their 2 children on July 18th, 1984. That afternoon, he entered a McDonald's near his home in San Isidro, California, armed with several firearms, including a 9mm handgun and a rifle. Huberty then wreaked havoc, shooting at everything that moved. He even shot at a nearby park where children were playing. 21 people ranging from 8 months to 74 years old were killed in the attack. At the time, it was the deadliest single gunman massacre in US history. An additional 19 people were injured in the assault, which lasted for around 77 minutes. Initially, the number of gunshots heard led the responding officers to believe that there were multiple shooters inside. A McDonald's employee managed to escape through the basement and told the police that Huberty was alone and had no hostages. Sharpshooters were given the green light and SWAT sniper Chuck Foster fatally shot Huberty, putting an end to his killing spree.
Despite extensive plastic surgery that had rendered him almost unrecognizable and a tendency to constantly change his hair, clothes, and general appearance, Chiappetta was ultimately captured with the help of voice recognition software.